So I'm out in my woods now. I'm gonna try a bow fire here, and I found some stuff. I'm gonna maybe gather some of this for some tinder. I'm out looking for a suitable piece of wood to use for my hearth and such. I already found a good bow drill on a tree that I trimmed up last year. Also today the temperature is up to 60 something, and it's the first time this year it's been above 60, so we're getting into morel season, so I'm going to keep a sharp eye out, but it's probably way too early. Well, the creek isn't up near as much as I thought it'd be, given that we're in the thick of spring here. Usually this time of year it's pretty high, you almost can't cross it, but it looks like I'll be able to get across without too much trouble. Of course, every year it looks a little different with all the washout. You can see over that way there's a cabin. The original owner of this property more or less homesteaded there. It's not really habitable today, but the fireplace still works great. And one of these times I'll probably have to tear it down and make a little shelter, but probably not a walled cabin like that. It's got a nice wood stove in there though. That's nice. Also over here where I'm headed, he planted a bunch of pine trees, which really aren't too native to this area. Most of what you see in the background here is what's native, you know, the oaks and things. Not a lot of pines in this area. So this is it. This is our little pine forest area. I'm thinking I'll probably find some good wood for a hearth back in here, and spindle, and hopefully some more tinder. This stuff looks about perfect. It's been up off the ground, and this is the Des Moines River. I'm down here today looking for a flat rock to use in the bottom of my little fire pit I'm about to make. The river's real high now, being spring and all, which was one reason I was surprised that the creek was not as high, but we'll see what we can see here. This should work well for my little mini fire pit. The guy who built that cabin there dug this little root cellar into the side of the hill here to keep stuff preserved. When I was poking around down by the river, I found this old ladle. That's kind of neat. And I found a old bottle that's relatively intact. It says 1 pint, and then it says federal law forbids sale or reuse of this bottle. Well, I wonder if that's like the tag on the mattress. So I'm getting close to having my hearth piece batoned out here. So what do you do if you don't have any alcohol with your little stove kit? Well, if you've got a bootlace and you know how to make a bow drill and hearth and spindle and all that, you can still have a fire. And that nice little enchilada sauce windscreen works great as a little makeshift twig stove. So I'm going to get some coals going here and have a little cookout coffee. I'll show you how to make that. So what I've got here is a 24-ounce cup, and I know that if I fill that 2/3 of the way full with water, I've got about 2 cups of water in there. And what I've got in this little baggie here is 2 tablespoons of Turkish coffee and 2 teaspoons of sugar. That's the recipe I like to use to make it. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump that in the water there. And I don't have a spoon, so I'm just going to kind of give it a stir with my knife here. I'm going to go ahead and set it on the fire. Let that heat up real well. I'm going to have to be careful though, because that's not the steadiest thing in the whole world right now. And it's heating up real nice here. I'll give it a little stir. One of the nice things about using Turkish coffee as opposed to regular ground coffee is that this is actually the way that Turkish coffee is supposed to be prepared. Not necessarily over a campfire, but you're supposed to put it in the water and then bring it to a boil, and then that's it. You don't filter it, you don't do anything. And the reason that works is because Turkish coffee is extremely finely ground, and it's meant to be consumed this way. It's a little grittier than your usual coffee, but not much, and it's tasty. So I've got it simmering. It sure is a lot easier to do this with flint and steel and alcohol. Sure got plenty hot, and it's tasty.